Welcome to High Talks with Mujtaba Ahmed and Himanshu Gupta. Once again, we are here. Before we move on with the video, guys, don't forget to subscribe because we're coming out with weekly videos for you all. At the same time, we're making sure to post on the new exclusive group called Hi Homies, which you can join for just 5 dirhams or 100 rupees if you're in India. It gives you access to our not background, what's the word?
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. If you guys want to know how we record, what do we do on a daily basis, all the fun things we do, all the things that we can't really talk about, it's out there. Alright, thank you guys. Let's start this video. Much, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about the elusive G20 Summit that's happening right now in India, in New Delhi. And so it's a summit that's focused around environment, ESG practices, healthcare, education, and of course, economics.
Oh my god. I think the first meeting was yesterday. I'm guessing this video is going to come out much later. But yeah, according to the correct timeline, it was yesterday. I was really I had just heard about it in the news where they spoke about the environmental factors and how they can unite the world, or at least the countries that are present. I see Saudi's there, Africa's there.
Africa's not a country.
Sorry, South Africa?
Okay, that's a country.
Yeah, I think the president or whatever was there as well. Some people who weren't able to join was, I think, the president of Russia. He wasn't able to join. I don't think the Chinese.
I wonder why.
Well, yeah, we all know why. But yeah, it's very interesting how they're having these summits in India itself. It just shows that India is coming up. It was a developing nation before. It is getting slowly there to the developed side. Obviously, there's a long way to go. The surface area of India is too huge for it all to be developed. I think it's going to take time. But at the same time, I think what would be interesting is if we were to have a G20 about gaming, what should be spoken about over there, and why it should be addressed.
Sure. So I think the three main points would be economics, education,
Right.
and healthcare.
That's yeah.
So economics in the form of the billions of dollars worth of revenue that comes from gaming,
Right.
that comes from in-app purchases, buying of the games, advertisements that happen during the games, tournaments that are held,
True.
teams that are paid for,
Definitely.
jobs that are created,
It's an industry of its own.
right? So it has a GDP impact, it has an employment impact as well.
Right.
So definitely economics is
It has to be one of the
Yeah.
points. But
Sec-
what's limiting it much? Let's go there first.
So in terms of limitations is regulations, that's for sure.
So the regulations within the countries themselves in regards for gaming.
Exactly. The difference in regulations per country. And what that causes is that, okay, you want to release an app. Country A has 5 requirements, country B has 7, country C has 9, and they're different from A and B.
And we have 28.
So what that does is that when you're releasing a game, and a game that's meant to be super popular, right, it's Free Fire types, PUBG types, what that does is it actually limits the ability to get that game to the end user. And for world leaders meeting up in a summit of this fashion, I think it's a very important time to discuss this topic of how can we normalize, standardize the gaming regulations across these countries to ensure that we continue making the billions of dollars that we're making.
Definitely.
We continue having that impact on education. We continue having an impact on healthcare.
I think it's a very fair point. I think the next one was healthcare.
Yeah, so healthcare. So as we all know, right, why do we play games? One is to have fun. Second
Correct.
is to have a release, to indulge ourselves into a different world,
True.
into a different environment.
With our friends.
With our friends, even alone. Right? If you're
Okay.
playing the single player games.
Okay.
Right? So what gaming does is it actually helps a lot.
Tic-tac-toe kind of thing, right?
Yeah, so it actually helps a lot with anxiety, with depression.
Right.
Right? People find an escape.
Hmm.
That escape being gaming.
Like GTA 5.
GTA 5, do what you want to do on GTA 5. Don't come on the streets and hijack a car. Like, come on, bro.
Well, that's already happening, guys. We need to reduce it.
Stop going on Twitter and ranting about stuff. You can
Hey,
do what you
I'm
need
Zador.
in the lobbies,
Huh.
in the voice chat lobbies.
Right.
You can leave it there.
Hmm.
And gaming really helps towards that.
Well, we can see it with the Travis Scott that happened on Fortnite.
Yeah.
He had a concert over there.
Yeah.
So, जो वैसे होता था physically where people, I don't want to say, but dying, or they were getting injured, right? That was Travis Scott, right?
And they were getting run over.
Yeah.
There was a stampede.
Yeah, that can happen in Fortnite.
Yeah.
The max that can happen is you can kill the other person.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you get revived. You play your next game.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was a very weird, very weird case study that you just gave. But it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And by moving things virtual or giving that accessibility, it allows people to have that avenue.
Definitely. What's the next point what you said?
So education, which
Okay.
is actually quite interesting. So if you think of a game like Minecraft, a game that's focused on what, right? It's focused on harvesting materials and building stuff.
Correct.
Right? So it's focused on the environment, it's focused on ecology.
Correct.
So that type of game inadvertently actually teaches people what ecology is all about.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
And why not take that or push that type of narrative into helping people learn about things in a fun way?
Well, the only thing I've done in Minecraft is place bombs and then blast it. That was fun, bro.
Yeah. But it's a way for people to actually learn. It's a way for people to learn while having fun, which is the quickest way to learn. Anyone would agree with that.
No, definitely, Minecraft is big. Like, even when we saw it with streamers, like, there were these US and UK based streamers. What's his name called? Dream. He literally had a server of his own where people were actually living a general life. He had a storyline. In that storyline, a lot of people were engineers. Some were like army based. Some were just like harvesters. And there's an entire trade happening. So if it's a world out there, you can definitely teach out there about different things. I think it was used for engineering as well, somewhere.
Yeah. So geology and engineering, right? You want to build a huge house, right? You see those videos of people building huge mansions.
Yeah.
Of course, the degree of engineering and architecture that's required to build a mansion in Minecraft is different to real life, but it does also lean in towards that direction.
Definitely. So those are the 3 points. But I think there's one more, which you forgot. Disaster management, baby.
Disaster relief. Yeah. So
Yes.
this was. So we weren't sure if we talk about this point or not. It's a
Bullet
bit
hai.
funny.
Bullet hai.
But disaster relief. So for example, like countries in Asia that experience a lot of flooding.
Like Philippines.
Philippines,
Sri
India,
Lanka.
Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. Countries like this. If a flood hits you right now, how many of you know exactly what to do?
I do.
I don't.
I do know. Just go inside my room and stay there.
You can't get flooded.
नहीं वो तुम बाहर से निकलने का पानी.
It's a flood, bro. It's like 30 feet high.
हाँ तो ऐसे मैं कोस्ट पे नहीं था ना bro. I live inside.
But
जब तक मेरे पास आएगा तब तक बीच में सैंड आ जाएगा मस्त खूब सारा. उसके अंदर पानी चल जाएगा.
so gaming can be a way to actually educate people on what to do during times of disaster. Right? It's a way to, again, it feeds into education, but it also feeds into teaching people what they need to do in
Is
case
there a
of a
game
disaster.
like this such?
There's one called Disaster Hero,
Okay.
which teaches people how to respond to disasters.
Okay.
But quite literally, it can be very specific games to the regions. Right? Within the Middle East, we get sandstorms sometimes when we drive.
Yeah.
What do we do about it? Or driving in Dubai, for example.
Driving in Dubai in rain. Oh my
In rain,
God. Yeah.
it's a big debacle. It's really tough. A lot of accidents happen.
Yeah.
How can you minimize that? How can you teach people?
Or driving to Sharjah.
Disaster. That's a daily basis, right? So what can you teach people? And what can people learn from that to then actually practice? Because if you want to learn that, okay, you either go to a government portal You read a huge ass article,
Right.
right? Which people don't do. People don't do. It's harder to remember.
आज तक मैंने terms and conditions नहीं पढ़े तो article क्या पढ़ूँ?
Yeah. So once you actually play a game and you experience that, that's the time that you can take those experiences into your real life and see a benefit.
I just realized, what did I just say?
Yeah. So terms and conditions are like 87 pages, bro. 113 pages.
That's also true. But yeah, I think it's a fair point. It should be discussed in the G20. Maybe they can include us also there. At the moment, Sonia Gandhi wasn't invited, but maybe we can be invited.
Why not?
Yeah, even Rahul Gandhi.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, only CMs of India were invited. There's a big fuss. Anyways, thank you guys for clocking in. Comment down below if you
want to see gaming in the next G20 Summit, if you want the governments of the world to be talking about these really important topics and to find solutions and to find ways to bring gaming into the mainstream and have benefits for the countries involved.
So yeah, just drop a yes down below. And once again, don't forget to like, subscribe and get the notification bell on. And now you guys can be part of Hi Homies with Pikachu. Pika. Thank you.